Show.
What up, y'all? This DJ Upgrade, live in effect.
What's poppin'? It's your girl Inkwell J.
Hell yeah, we up in this motherfucker. So look, check this out, man. How's everybody doing today? You already know how we do it. Yesterday we didn't do the podcast, you know what I'm saying? But today we back. You feel what I'm saying?
And we
We
back.
back, we back with some news, you know what I'm saying? Some hip hop news, some news that's going on in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Upgrade looking, his camera looking way better and shit, 4K. You know, he gonna look like he.
Ish. I'm gonna
My
get me a
nigga,
webcam though, for sure.
yeah. Yeah, man. So, anyways, man, we back. What's today? Thursday. It's Thursday night. You know, happy birthday to my sister Brittany. You know what I'm saying? She was
Whoop,
probably
whoop,
20.
whoop.
You feel what I'm saying? But we up in this motherfucker. You did. So,
Yeah.
so today, man, we got some news for him today. We got Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? He pushing new music to Grand Theft Auto 6. You know what I'm saying? We
Mhm.
got what is it? U.S. Marshals hit the wrong apartment. like that's kind of common and kind of wow. What else we got? Upgrade.
Yeah, I got a little emergency.
Oh, okay. No, do your
I'm gonna be
thing.
right back though, literally.
All right, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we also got some news coming from the Boston Globe, just about what's going on in the medical community. Plus, for young people who are trying to be homeowners, we got some information about Zillow and what's happening with Zillow right now. What else we got, Show?
What else do we got? What is that? It was Dr. Dre. I know Upgrade got some topics. Oh, also, you already know I like talking about Boosie and Lil Nas X. That should be always comedy. Like they
Oh
always
my gosh, Boosie. He's such
like
an
man.
auntie.
But Lil Nas X Pops came out this time.
What happened?
Okay. So basically, Lil Nas X, Pops, that's his son. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty dope. That that he got support from his pops. You know what I'm saying? First
Right.
and foremost, because we know most LBG2 communities they always get either abandoned. I'm not saying all, but it's with parents when you raise in the old school, like with old school parents, it's kind of hard for them to accept who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, we didn't have that much freedom as far as like who I want to be. No, you're gonna be what I say you are, and that's just that
Mhm.
shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? But times has changed, you know what I'm saying? And eras, you know what I mean? And people are being more acceptance, you know what I'm saying? And more accepting to other people's communities and nationalities and stuff. Even though we still got racism, a lot of phobias in the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for they got a lot of phobias. I was also gonna say, I feel like a lot of parents are starting to realize they don't want to lose their kids. They don't want to be without their
And
kids. I feel like they think it's dumb to do. I would not have a relationship with my kid because of how my kid is. Do I not love my kid? I think they realize how dumb it is to not be in support of who their child is. And a lot of parents are waking up to that, which is really cool.
yeah, facts. So
So
on
what
that,
happened?
note, Boosie always call him a agate.
Mm-mm.
Like he's like, that's the word, like the forbidden
Yeah,
word. Like
F word. Yep.
nobody says that
Hmm.
no more. He said that's the forbidden word. You know what I'm saying? That's like
Hmm.
so that's like going against the grain. Like in the '90s, it was cool. Like to even call
Right.
somebody that word and they not even be that. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're
Right.
homosexuality and you call them that, you could still people still press you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's like
Yep.
calling another race a nigga in front of a black person. Niggas might
Mhm.
be calling you like, I don't care if you didn't say it to me, bro. Use that word around me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So,
As
yeah,
they
that word,
should.
yeah. So that word is that. But the cold thing is that word is actually a cigarette in France. Dave Chappelle said that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is. And it also refers, a bundle of sticks that they used to stuff under mattresses and set the mattress on fire to burn homosexual people. Yeah. That's a
Really?
thing. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that part.
Uh-huh.
Damn, I just
Yep.
learned that just
Roll them
now.
up, bundle them up, shove them under a mattress and set it on fire.
Oh, so was that the kind of the relation to that word? As
I
far as the
feel like I mean,
roll up the
every word
finger.
has all words have some kind of etymology, even when they're slang. And it's funny, he said that crazy, you can say the N word, but can't say the F word. Well, the thing is, like, it's about a community thing. There are people in the LGBT community who do use the F word, but they don't use the N word because they don't identify as black or they are not a black person, you know? And there are black people who are in the LGBT community use both or neither, you know? And so I think it also is based on the community you identify. DJ Show, being a heterosexual male, does not use the F word. You know what I mean? But he uses the N word because he's black. So that kind of explains that a little bit, you know, just as the community that you identify. He wouldn't disrespect that community by using that word all willy-nilly because he knows that it's offensive to someone wouldn't use the N-word, or they would understand, be impressed if they did use the N-word, like he was saying. Yeah, that's a really good realization. So what happened with Lil Nas X's dad?
So he said, how the hell are you a gangster rapper promoting guns and violence, degrading women, and in getting high, every video talking about you're for the kids? Man, sit your old ass down. He said Lil Nas X dad wrote on Instagram, the game has passed you, we real bankhead over here. Not like that guy who claims it. So, you know what I mean? So that's what and Boosie did respond, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know, like that, like I feel like, you know, you gotta accept your kids for who they are. You may not be who they want them to be, but you know what I'm saying? All you can do is guide them, you know what I'm saying? And if then you got to have their back 100%, whether they right. Now I ain't gonna say whether they right or wrong, but however they decide to live. There we go.
Yeah, that's true. Because parents did used to say right or wrong to make it seem like there was a wrong way of living. That was great. I like how you did that, Show. I like how you did that. Because Boosie really does go out of his way.
Them niggas been feuding since 2019.
Yeah, and it's funny because Lil Nas X is like
he is a
21.
troll.
He is a troll. He's a super troll, but I think he's like 21. Like, how could you be arguing with a 20? Or well, at the time you said 2019. How could you be arguing with a 19-year-old? Like, you don't have anything better to do, Boosie. But he gets so deeply enraged by Lil Nas X's entire existence. Somebody got to reel him in. Somebody got to reel him in because I don't understand it. It's just it's giving very much. I'm jealous that you get to be out and gay and I don't get to be out and gay. Like it's giving very much jealous. It's giving like it makes you feel like when you hanging out with somebody and they just keep pressing you and over and over and over and over and over, and then you find out they got a crush on you, and then you like, well, I don't like you even more now. Like, there's no way that I even want to like you because you were so mean to me. Boosie be acting like, you know, there's more to it. Right. There's more to it. That's all I'm gonna say. There's more to it.
Okay. For sure. And so Boosie, okay. And Boosie also replied, you know, he got a rebuttal. He always get
shoot. What he said.
So he said something to his dad. He said, giving more, they said he was up there being more homophobic. He's like, don't get mad at me because your son came out like that. I know it hurts. You know what I'm saying? So
that's so wild because I think he says that because it would hurt him if his sons were gay. And that's really painful because it's like, where does that thought come from? You know, it's like you ask like what do you want for your kids? Well, what are your wants rooted in? You know, like if you want something for your kids, I want my kid to be the best drug dealer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want? What are your wants rooted in? And like Boosie has said multiple times, comments about kids trying to be straight, which isn't a thing. No one's trying to be straight. You just are. Like, you are, you aren't, you know, you are fluid. You are just who you are, you know, but no one has to try to be anything. Because if you're trying, that means you're not.
Right.
That's just how it works, you know? And he likes to put it on kids. I think that's another part that he's telling on himself about. He likes to put the blame, like, or the reason why he should be allowed to say all this stuff on kids. He likes to be like, oh, you gonna let him twerk in front of your kids? And I'm like, sir, Instagram is a free app available to everyone in the world. And you were asking for people to Reddit open on a free app. Like, what are you talking about? You know, I feel like he just he be telling on himself. Boosie be telling on himself. And then it doesn't help that his movie came out. Did you see his movie or like seen clips
Oh,
from his movie?
I didn't even finish telling you about that. So yeah, he oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let you speak on that.
No. If what you got to say goes with that, let me hear it.
Have you heard of somebody named Big Frida or Frida?
Yeah, yeah, from New Orleans. I love Big
Okay,
Frida.
Frida. She said she don't really believe he's homophobic. She says that she believes that his beef lies with Lil Nas X, rather than the gay community as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, you know, he recently highlighted a lot of homosexual actors in his movie. You know what I mean? It's you know, basically from that community. You know what I'm saying? The LGBTQ. He was like, I don't think he personally hates you know, gay people. He said just basically his problems with Lil Nas X.
Well, the reason why I can only take that with a grain of salt is because the way in which Boosie chose to portray gay men in his film was from the perspective of prison culture. And I
Mm,
think that reduces the gay community entirely because if you are only building the perspective that gay men are acceptable in jail, what are you saying about gay men, specifically gay black men? You know what I mean? Like, are you saying that black men or men who engage in that type of sex should be in jail? Like, that's the only way that your existence can be appropriate, you know?
mm,
Because he did make it seem like it was very normalized. That he does try to talk all the time about how there's gay culture in prison, like it's prison gay culture, prison gay culture. He talks about it all the time. But that those are not the only type of men in the world that are gay, you know? And so
right.
that's where his issue is with the LGBT community. He is not happy about the way that Lil Nas shows up in the world. You know what I mean? Because before this album, that this is Lil Nas X's first album, of course, but I'm saying like before he started doing promotion for the album and the "Call Me by My Name" video and all that stuff, he wasn't really like doing a lot. He was just trolling. He was being a kid on Twitter, but he wasn't really doing too much. He didn't start ramping up until Boosie started getting more irritable. The more irritated Boosie got, the louder he got, the more it seemed like it fueled Lil Nas X to be more out and open. It's like your hate fuels me. Your
Right.
hate fuels me. You know what I mean? It to know that someone is so pressed about your existence is a little invigorating when you're a young rich black kid. You know what I mean? A young rich gay black kid who's like an icon already, who's respected by a lot of gay icons. Like to even be mentioned in the same sentence sometimes with Elton John is phenomenal because Elton John couldn't come out until he was almost 40. So like I don't think there's nothing wrong with Boosie not wanting his kids to see a man dancing on the devil or other men, but I agree with her. You have to control to let them watch it. You have control to let them watch it. Yeah, like I mean, to keep it a bean, like if we want to talk about how kids interact with each other, like let's just talk about like high school sports. Like I always go to high school sports because if we want to talk about kids, we can't pretend like high school students aren't kids, right? High school students are kids. I played boys basketball all the way through my high school years and college years and all that stuff, right? Always around a lot of guys. And I spent a lot of time in the locker room until I hit like teen years. And observing young boys in the locker, it's a lot of dancing on each other. Not always gay. It's just like how boys interact with each other. They do dance competitions and they be crumping with each other and pelvic thrusting because boys are goofy like that. And so to say like, I don't think he wants to see his kids. I don't think his kids want to see a man is another man dancing on another man or on the devil is like kids are already seeing and doing crazy shit y'all don't think is appropriate anyway. So like if you got an issue with the way that your kids interact in the world or what they're seeing or observing, like because when I was a kid, we saw a half-naked Satan with his ass out. I don't know if you remember that cow and chicken.
South Park.
South Park. The other one, it was Cow and Chicken. It was South Park. There's another Powerpuff Girls. I saw a cross-dresser Satan. Mojo Jojo was inspired by a cross-dresser. It was a satanic man who wore dresses and 9-inch heels. That was my childhood. So like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Phil and Lil were Phil and Lil had a lesbian mom. Like, what are we talking about here? You know, if we were talking about what kids have an understanding of, you have to help build perspective. If you see a kid, if your kid is seeing a man dancing on the devil or whatever, just tell them, oh, this is something that happens in film. It's art. Like, it's just art. When you tell kids it's just art, they don't take it seriously. They only take it as, oh, okay, that's someone's depiction about something. And as they grow and learn about art, it becomes less serious. But when parents make it so, you cannot be gay, now kids are like, what is gay? Let me figure out if I am. Well, let me make my parents proud by trying to prove whether or not I'm gay. And then they do gay shit and find out they are gay. Like,
and then like we was like, I don't think nothing wrong with Boosie not wanting his kids to see another man dancing on a devil or other men shit. I don't want my kids to see nobody dancing on nobody.
Like, for real, because I don't even like strip clubs.
Like, nah, yeah, I feel him though. I definitely understand though what he's saying. But like overall, I don't want my daughter, or you know, if I ever when I have my son, I don't want to be like, yo, I don't even want him to see, you know what I'm saying? I want my kid to be a kid, you know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, but at the same time, like you said, you do control what your kids watch. Like, you control the narrative, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you have to be willing to have uncomfortable conversations with your kids about what they see. I do feel like the gay agenda is being pushed like everywhere I look, and for me, I care zero. I kind of feel like it's a distraction to something else. I feel like white people said the same thing when black people were asking for civil rights. I feel like white people were like, oh, black people are so loud right now. Coincidentally, at the same time the black people were asking for civil rights, or, you know, we were the most loud about it in the 60s. Gay people were really loud about wanting liberation also, and that started in like the 30s. But all of that to say, like, people only realize it so much because it's something that they're not used to seeing. Like, when you're not used to seeing it, it seems like it's everywhere. Like, we could say the same thing about hybrid cars. Like, but it seems like I feel like they're pushing the hybrid car agenda on
I kind of feel CV though. I do, like, right. Certain things, like for instance, like the superhero shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Superman is just Superman. Like, to me, like, why is it necessary? What does he like? Women or girl, like women or men? Like, I feel like they kind of highlight that point in comic books. Like now,
well, they also, at the same time that they released that segment on Superman, they had a whole segment about disabled superheroes, and nobody talked about that. Is there's a disabled agenda? Because there was a whole like front page of disabled superheroes that got inducted into the Marvel universe just like a couple weeks ago, like that same week that this news story about Superman being gay came out. So I was like, how come that didn't get highlighted? Is there a disabled agenda? Because there are a lot more disabled people coming out, a lot more people realizing they have ADHD, autism, you know. And so I'm like, is there an autism agenda? Or are people just realizing there are more people who are autistic? Is there a gay agenda, or are we realizing that there are more people who are gay?
Or is it that I know disrespect when I say this, maybe I'm just not wording it.
No, yeah, it don't feel disrespectful.
Or is it that the LBGT community is more important than the handicap? Or the reason why I say that is, why is that more popularized than what you just said as far as the handicap?
If we actually process that, the whole root of that is white supremacy. So white supremacy is the belief that there's no such thing as fat people, no such thing as people. The white supremacy is white, male, able-bodied, healthy, right? Mm-hmm. Like, able to use the full function of their body and their brain. They're white and they're usually male. And then right below that is white women, right?
Okay.
So the reason why the narrative of Superman being gay got more popularity is because Superman technically identifies as a white man, which is higher than, if we go down the whole, they actually look at it like a pyramid like this. If you go all the way down to the bottom, at the very bottom are disabled folks. Like the very, very bottom of any category. Black people, the bottom of the black people's category are disabled black people. In the middle, you got gay black people, black women, black children. There's a spectrum. But at the very bottom, disabled people. Disabled people always get the end of something. They don't ever get a chance to push the narrative or be the narrative. But those stories dropped at the same time. And there are a lot of TikTokers. There's even a TikToker named Crutches in Spice, and she does a lot of like disabled education content and like etymology TikToks. And she was inducted into the Marvel universe that same week. And so it's like the reason why people don't hear enough stories about other demographics similar to the disabled community is because how society is built, the disabled always gets the end. they always get the end of the sentence, the last paragraph, the bottom. And that's the part that, we should highlight is like, there are lots of communities that exist. And then let's also keep it a bean. Let's also keep it a buck, okay? As much as I can make it seem all educated, marketing is better. Like the gay community has funded marketing, and a lot of the people with the highest amount of money in the gay community are white men. So what do white men always want? To be seen, to be noticed. So if you are feeling like there's a lot of like, keep in mind that the people who are likely pushing it in a way that's like, that's going down my throat might be a white man. Might be a white man. The whole time you could be mad at a gay white man. This whole time. Like, truly.
That's crazy.
Oh, all right. We just got through talking about Lil Nas X. He was like, damn, you sound like Tuck from the Hot Boys. He said they play gay games as kids. He's stupid. As a kid, I never thought if my boy was gay, we just play sports and play games. That's real, though. No, but it's funny that you say that, though, because I had a gay cousin. I'm telling my girl this. I had a gay cousin growing up, didn't know what to call him when I was young. It was like when he was around me, the nigga would play fucking video games and music, like.
Yeah.
But it was just like, for me, I think his mom brought him over my house to see what boys supposed to do, literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when we'll go, but mind you, like all my cousins is girl, but he was my only hope for him to show me, like, you know what I mean? Like, but it didn't turn out that way. So, you know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up with a gang of male cousins. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, nigga, imagine your only hope, my nigga, is your cousin, your boy cousin, bro. And it's just like, damn, he with the girl.
He's playing double dutch, like, stop click-clacking, stop click-clacking. Come on. Okay.
On my mama. So my cousin, right? This nigga, like, I forgot the point, but it's just that, I still love my cousin, one of my best cousins.
Oh, you was talking about the playing sports. You were saying, I never. He said, I never thought of my. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. But yeah, so when we used to play sports and shit, my cousin would be out there with the girls double dutching. My cousins would literally be arguing. My girl cousins be arguing over this nigga on his team. Like, I'm talking about doing dogs hair and shit. But me as a kid, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? We supposed to be playing basketball and shit. Like,
yeah.
My experience was different from this nigga.
Yeah, no, 1,000%.
So
how long it take you to realize,
Man, look, it'd be funny as hell. Because your cousin your whole life and you be in denial. Man, that nigga ain't good. Because he had all the women around him. He had all the women around him. So I would love to go to his house, even in high school. You feel what I'm saying? Women will literally let him like touch whatever. I'm like, nigga, they ain't hit you. I'm like, nigga, I gotta learn this.
He said, I gotta learn this.
Like, this dude, like, you know what I'm saying? So now, like, not like, you know what I'm saying? But now that was my experience though with that. But it was just a sidebar. But yeah, man.
No, I wanted to just real quick agree with JR 1515. Yeah, no, 1,000%. Most disabilities are 1,000% noticeable in your sexual preferences, and that actually supports the argument in that because disabilities are, people can see them, and it gives them an opportunity to disengage and be prejudicial or discriminatory, which actually supports the argument of the reason why people with physical disabilities or any disability often get the butt in the stick, the bottom of the barrel. They don't often get the best of our society is because most disabilities are visible. So yeah, I agree. 1,000%. I agree with you. I just want to say that.
First of all, I want to shout out to my homeboy Quake on Facebook. I know he watching this shit. You know what I'm saying? My boy always fixed computers and shit since high school. I remember my computer had a porno virus on that motherfucker. He cleared it, and I was able to make some music.
You had LimeWire? What you have? You have
LimeWire, all that shit, nigga. All that shit, nigga.
You're hilarious.
So, yeah. Hey, Upgrade, what's going on with you, man? I see. Okay, but you got the U.S. Marshal enters the wrong apartment, huh?
Yes. Let me see. In Florida, had to be Florida. You feel me? U.S. Marshals held a mother and her baby at gunpoint. And then while they're holding her at gunpoint, they were looking for a nigga named Jerome. So they like, we know Jerome is here.
He said the roommate in the house, my nigga.
And
He
then I
said,
guess somebody from the back of the group of people, said, "No, this is the right apartment number," and
right.
then they just backed out. And when she called them to say, you guys need to cover some therapy for the mental stress and anxiety that you guys put me through when you went to the wrong address in the apartment complex, they told her to take melatonin or get over
Hey, them niggas got a 50 cent line. He said, I ain't no Scarface, no woman and kids. I don't give a fuck. You better teach that little nigga that bitch to duck.
telling you, they would have had
That's
to.
the most Florida story I've ever heard.
And it's so
if you would have
sad
just added an alligator, we'd have.
Yeah. For sure. But it's kind of sad because it's like they would have had to shoot her for her to get some money from that situation. But they kicked her door down and, they really ransacked the place looking for him, thinking he hiding under the bed and shit. And it's like, for you to be able to do that, just be like, my bad. It kind of says like what the government is about. As much as they are here to protect you, when they make mistakes, they sweep that shit under the bed. Like
1,000%.
you feel me?
Right.
And they make it to where by the time you see that dirt, the government people who are responsible for that, them motherfuckers is 80, 85 if they ain't already died yet. So it's like, damn, we supposed to put an 80-year-old in jail? And I say, hell yeah. Put they old ass in jail.
Spend your last days in the clink. Lock his ass up.
The way they just casually just admitted that, yeah, we killed Martin Luther King. It's like, why is nobody caring? Nobody cares about this. Like, they gave us a holiday this whole time, and they just admit to killing the nigga. Like, how's nobody like marching or nothing over this? It's just like, that's crazy.
Hey,
Let's see what's going on.
But nobody really knows. Last year's Martin Luther King life, they didn't give a fuck about him.
Yeah, at all.
So you know what I mean? It's just like, what did he say? You live long enough to be the villain?
That part really be sad and true though.
That should be true. Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Jelly. But yeah, that's real shit though. That shit fucked up. What up, C? But yeah, bro, I remember hearing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you live long enough to be the villain. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't give a fuck about him. So that's probably how they still feel. You know what I mean? But they just want to blow it up to make money through a fucking holiday and parade. To be real, you know what I'm saying, in the fucking street. Let's be real. The leaders that we got, nobody will go on these streets that they named after.
Man. Yeah.
Martin Luther King would not be on.
And you see what they did with Columbus Day? It's Indigenous Day. What happened to
Indigenous Peoples Day?
You know how much you guys celebrated Columbus Day, like as far as like ads on TV? Like, I don't see this indigenous marketing scheme nowhere. Oh shit.
Yet.
But I think they really should. Yeah, they got to do something, man. Hopefully they do something. Right now, it's like, damn.
I feel like the presence of social media and like apps like TikTok are gonna make the marketing of Indigenous Peoples Day or holidays like Indigenous Peoples Day popularized, because I noticed the way that they're marketing things now different. Like the shift is happening. It's so funny. Instagram and Facebook really held up a lot of the narrative on how the marketing world would look, but the marketing really didn't shift until TikTok. That's crazy. That's really
TikTok is crazy. Like, I be seeing more conspiracy stuff on TikTok than I do on YouTube now, and it's crazy. Like how the switch and the information is. I didn't know that you could load up 3-minute TikToks, and it'll really load up like if you choose to press on the button, it'll really load up hella educational stuff to where they can elaborate. Because 1 minute is kind of cold, but to be able to get 3 minutes, you can really get some educational stuff in there for real. For real.
Yeah, my TikTok been going up. If y'all got TikTok, follow me, Ink Very Well.
Hey.
I just had a video I posted 2 days ago. It just hit 27K this morning.
Let's go.
Like TikTok, that I don't even. So yeah, TikTok is the shit right now. It's the shit right now.
All right.
I mean, but YouTube, you great too. YouTube, you're great.
Yeah. I know both of y'all got some stories about a TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Upgrade.
Oh shit, huh? That's a perfect segue. Speaking of TikTok, shout out to my nigga right here, man. Perfect segue into this TikTok situation. A TikTok star has pled non-guilty to killing his wife and her sneaky link. Prosecutors say Ali Abu, I should have practiced his last name. Ali Abu Lanban had installed a listening device on his 5-year-old's fucking backpack, and he listened to this basically a little spy kit that he had, and he listened to the audio, and he heard another nigga's voice. He went over to the house with a gun, shot his wife in the face, shot the other dude 4 times, and then proceeded to go pick his daughter up where he was arrested.
Absolutely not.
This
Absolutely
man
not.
is serious. Now, like if we were to switch, because if we just talking about what was done, this is something that more like a female would do. I would not condone that on either sex, whether same sex or whatever. Like once, even though you are married and it is a bitter or worse, sicker or thin, broker or poor or whatever the fuck, you feel me? Once you realize that this person has maybe wasted your time or whatever, to go to murder is like too extreme, man. Too extreme. I know
Always.
people joke about it all the time, like my husband can't leave me; he got to leave, till death do us part for real. But sometimes you got to let it go, man. Prayers out to the kid, who has to deal with her father getting arrested at school for killing her mom. She probably has to move to a different school. I would transfer her for sure, because that's gonna
I thought
live
they put her in
forever in her
protective
soul.
custody.
Probably much so, because she just lost both her parents.
Yeah. It's horrible. I read in one of the reports that he called his mother and confessed.
I don't know why he's pleading not guilty. You're gonna get the death penalty. You're gonna get the death penalty fucking playing with the law for sure.
Depending on what they're charging him with, he could plead not guilty. Depending on what they're charging him with.
There is a term for this, like a passionate of crime or some shit like that.
Well, if it's a crime of passion, he going to jail. If they charge him with a crime of passion, he plead not guilty, he going to jail. Yeah. If they charge him with premeditated and he pleads not guilty, he going to jail because that was premeditated. The app, him put
you came over with the gun.
Yeah,
it's a nigga over there.
Yeah, like the fact once you put the app on the phone to listen in, premeditated off top, premeditated.
And once you drive over there with the gun,
premeditated.
That's murder one right there.
Hell yeah,
you go over there with the gun. Now, if the gun was already in there and you just seen somebody there, that could be an act of passion. But you drove over there with the blammy, that's premeditated for sheezy.
Yeah.
For sheezy.
So I'm wondering what they're charging him with that, where his legal team was like, yeah, plead not guilty. You can do it.
He's going to say he was crazy, temporary insane? I don't know about that.
They can plead temporary, but if they're going to go insanity, they should have done it already.
Yeah,
if they're going to go insanity, you should have done it already. Because what? It sounded insane.
Yeah, that shit
did. Like, what are we talking about? That sounds insane. You know? And that happens so often, so frequently. My friend's sister was just killed by her baby daddy and their baby, like maybe like a month ago. So like this is it's like very common for men to just snap.
He put a listening device on his daughter's tablet, because I was gonna say this shit not making sense, because how did he hear it in his daughter's backpack and he had to pick her up from school? It was in her daughter's tablet.
Yeah.
And he heard a nigga, I guess down the hallway, I like my eggs scrambled. Like, oh.
And it was the middle of the day, and he just man, he
got more than
trouble, man. Jail! You're going to fucking jail.
Yes, for sure.
But I want to be in the jury so I can jump up and say, "You're going to fucking jail."
Everybody gonna remember that day, like, yep, I seen him. He picked her up like shit was sweet, and then all the marshals came and they arrested him.
Was following behind him. It was like a parade.
That's crazy. They shouldn't even let him get that far, but I bet you they was just trying to do what they could. He might have still had the weapon on him. God forbid he takes his own daughter in as a fucking
hostage or
situation or whatever, and tries to hide behind her or whatever. So luckily that didn't happen, but man, cold situation, man. It's a thin line. That love is a strong emotion, man, and it'll drive some people who aren't emotionally equipped. That's why I always tell men, like, deal with them feelings, man. If you like her, tell your friends you like her. Tell your partners, I like her, bro. Don't try to fuck her, nigga. I like her. I got some long-term situations with her or whatever.
Yeah.
That's some
It's
real
like
nigga
you
shit.
saying you don't care, and then he actually do crack, and then he sees that you're sensitive about it. Now he throwing it in your face because that's how men do. We heartless, So it's like you should have been real from the jump or whatever. Like dealing with your emotions as far as like life and a lot of things is like something that men don't do. It'd be the reason why y'all outlive us like that. We tend to internalize what we really feel is wrong and what we really like and what our vision is, and it just turns into like health problems and kidney stones and shit or whatever. We just kind of like,
that shit real. That shit real. You are not lying. You are
so
not
like, man,
lying.
just say that stuff, man. Like, put your girl in a situation to where you can see if she's really out for you. Say a sentence that you don't want to say. When you said this and this, it hurt my feelings. Now, if she say, "Oh, you old punk ass bitch," maybe you're dealing with the wrong girl.
Literally, it's literally just that.
Right.
Niggas don't
It's
even want
literally
to put
just
it
that.
out there. Nigga just look at you for hella long, like. And then you don't tell your friends, my girl hurt my feelings when she said this. So it's like, you don't tell nobody that somebody hurt your feelings. So like, try to
And
find
then you
something
take it out on
to
other
get them
people.
to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because that's the next thing that happens is like, and I notice this a lot with guy dynamics is like, if there is, say for instance, just like the scenario you said, you like a girl, you don't say nothing, your homeboy hit, and you didn't tell him, and now you and your feelings about it. Now he making fun of you. Well,
Yeah.
if he knew he can make fun of you about being with that girl off top, you're likely weaker than him. And I don't mean like there's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
I mean like as far as social communication, you struggle to communicate, and it makes it so in interactions with other people, they dominate the conversation more than you do. So you get picked on. And what do people do? They get picked on. They go pick on other people.
Yeah.
That's literally, and guys do that. They go pick on, and when guys can't pick on other guys, they pick on women.
Yeah.
So then you got them dudes on the internet who say stuff like women are such whores, man.
I'm so glad you said that. Because I think that we need to as because who is just one side of this situation to just lay down what the rules is, but we do need to find a equal playing field where either being fast or all this other kind of terms that women are deemed as for being fast or having multiple partners, either there's no accountability and you don't suppress anybody's sexual whatever they taste whenever they
let
want to
people be
do
who
it.
they are. That's
Either it's like that
yes.
with both sexes. Do not shame the males that are fast like this too, or that may be in like the sex work trade in some kind of capacity.
Oh no, men should be in sex work because they do it.
Like it's like either it's we don't judge neither that do it, or we judge both. You feel me? And I think men want accountability, so they tend to say, "Well, I'm a dog ass nigga. You a hoe." You feel me? Because you're doing the same thing I'm doing or whatever. You just have you're a woman, so you can actually get some money out the situation too. Like I can't. I could get sex or whatever.
Men 1,000% get money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a
But
home.
it's not as pushed out.
1,000%.
No, I feel what you're saying. No,
I hear what you're saying. What I feel like happens in those interactions, right, is like it is more popular and common and understood that sex work, when people think sex work, they think of women off top, right? But when we're talking about like relationships and like people having multiple partners and whoop and like women getting money out of men, like when that phrasing or when that perspective is built, it sounds like a daddy give me some money, daddy give me some money, right? Yeah. That's usually the perspective. When in actuality, when women are presenting the conversation about like handing money, sure, yeah, there are the daddy give me some monies, but for the most part, it is, if we are planning to venture on a relationship, I need to trust that if I'm putting us on the line, say if I get pregnant and I decide we decide we want to have the kid or whatever happens, or have an abortion or whatever, can we both financially do this? And I know I can handle my shit. Can you handle your shit? You know what I mean? If you come over to my house or if I go over to your house, do you have a house for me to go to? Do I have a house for you to go to? And then at the same time, if we're doing this thing together where we're having sex with up to each other, but also other people, I think the concept of accountability should be rephrased. People are sex is happening because humans are existing. So clearly sex is happening, right?
Yeah.
We can't even control that. If we are worried about the accountability, people will start making sex a secret again. If we worry about holding people accountable for the amount of people they have sex with and the kind of sex they have, people are going to go back into being more secretive about the kind of sex. I'm totally more comfortable with like loud people being loud about the kind
sexual
of sex
freedom.
Okay. Yeah, it builds the perspective about what you're getting into. Because if you're the kind of person that's like, oh, I'm not really for that, you can find somebody who is for your type of modesty as opposed to being shamed for your modesty.
And I like that you go towards the nobody being judged by it, because I think that that'll be a way to where there's not as much like stigma behind it, and it is what it is or whatever. Because I feel like there's a lot of hypocrite shit going on. Like the same woman who will say, "Don't judge me," you still have the rhetoric of these dog ass niggas, these niggas be cheating, these niggas do this, these niggas hella fast, these niggas don't commit, but you're not committing either, you know? So like, if we're not gonna blame the hoe for being, I mean, I hate to say it like that, if we're not gonna blame the sex worker for doing that, we can't blame the male who's in that trade too. Now males can be a hoe, but 9 times out of 10, the male is the pimp. So as long, to me, I'm not gonna judge somebody who's into prostitution, and I'm not gonna judge the pimp too, as long as he's not on no guerrilla physical abuse stuff, because they're both playing the same sexual game, and it's about having games. People gamed up.
They're still running the business.
Yeah, some women can talk hella men out their pockets, and if you get talked out your pockets, my nigga, you got talked out your pockets. You feel me? And there are some men who could talk women out their pockets. And if y'all got talked out your pockets, you got talked out your pockets. It is what it is. There's gonna be some people get played, some people are the players. So like, I just want it to be equal. I don't want it to be you judge the male version of what you do, because males can't do exactly what women do in their same. You can't go to a host role for a dude for heterosexual men. You feel me? Not heterosexual men. You feel me?
Well, like it's so interesting, right? I think that builds a really great perspective about the uncomfortable conversation about sexual assault. So you know how you just said there's no host role for heterosexual males?
Yeah.
So what are heterosexual males doing to get sex with no strings attached? They're coercing women into one-night stands.
Yeah, in the day, yes.
Hobosexuals, you know what I mean? They're selling a lie to a girl to get quick sex, because there is no whole show. Sure, everyone's capable of having sex, you know, participating in sex work everywhere, but it is more common for women to be physically out, like on the streets and stuff like that. You mostly see more women than men.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, but at the same time, the males who are participating in sex work, if we want to think of the queer sex workers and then the straight sex workers, right?
Okay.
Queer male sex workers often experience a lot of violence, just for the very reason that you said. There's no stroll for men, right? While yes, there are men out there in the streets in New York, they got a whole little island. There's a whole little area by the pier, like the truck stops. Like there are plenty of areas where male sex workers do exist, but that's where the violence happens. Because when male sex workers are involved, and let me focus on queer sex workers, when queer male sex workers are involved in a lot of covert, like underground type of sex, a lot of violence happens. There was just some politician who was caught up in a ring of like 3 or 4 black boys that died at his house. Like he was.
Yeah, I think I heard that story.
And they were dying.
Yes.
He was like, oh, they were ODing or something like that. Yeah. So like that's one.
What you were saying, like, take the judgment off it. If you took the judgment off it, men wouldn't feel ashamed to where like I just got sucked by a dude and then want to be hella violent, or
right?
Whatever, because you're not dealing with what you're doing mentally or whatever.
Because the shame, truthfully, I know that men feel embarrassed the most when the shame comes from women, but the shame is actually coming from men. Because even when women are shaming men for the type of sex they're having, that's internalized from wanting to please men. When you deal with women who don't worry about pleasing men, they're not judgmental like that. When they're not influenced by men, when they're not dealing with the internalized like misogyny, they don't shame men for the type of sex they're having, because they realize that shaming a man for the kind of sex they're having is the exact kind of shame that men inflict on women.
Yeah,
so you see what I mean? And the same women that shame men for the kind of sex they have are the exact same women that shame women for the kind of sex they have, even if they're doing the exact same thing.
Yeah,
that is true. Like, if you think about the girls who like, oh, he gay, he the F word, he that, he this. They're also the same girl like, oh, I don't F with her because she a hoe.
Yeah,
same person.
But it is. And you know what? Like, that's why I said like there has to be a discussion, because if you leave it to a man, you can hear our narrative. Well, see, we've been being called dog ass niggas for being fast, and like low life pimps and all this other player and all this. We think it's only right that we could call the females whatever their terms are that we ourselves, participate and come up with, and part of the females that you were saying come up with these terms or whatever. But I think that when women talk about it who are in the field, it's more it shouldn't be judged unilaterally or whatever. But sometimes I do see somebody will say, don't judge me," and then like
and be
7 minutes
judgmental.
later, dog ass niggas, this and that. It's like you can't have both, but we both need to come together and see which one. Is we judging everybody for being fast, or is it sexual free, like what they was trying to do like in the 70s or whatever, when they was getting hella high off acid and shit or whatever. Like we got to figure that shit out, like
shrooms, good weed.
Yes. So like
no,
that's
real.
dope.
I feel like the goal is sexual liberation. Like that's the goal. TikTok helps that. The generation below us, these teens, early 20-year-olds, they're doing something called ungendering the community. So they are really unpacking a lot of stuff that our parents put us through. Like,
but do you honestly think? Because I hate to say this, I don't think there's a significant amount of women are not going to let things go that way, because they maintain a certain kind of power, leveraging sex for gifts and money and all that. And I think
let's rewrite that narrative, rebuild the perspective. Is someone exchanging sex for gifts, or is someone able to be broken down to give a gift just to get sex? Like if all it takes for you to give me a gift is sex, anybody could do that. And you doing it for gifts? You see what I mean? Yeah. As opposed to it being like, wow, you're selling your sex for gifts. No, you out here with gifts because you so thirsty to have sex. You gotta have a gift for it.
I mean, is that
or if you think of like how people get promotions and they say that women sell sex to get promotions in jobs or to get better positions, like, oh, their sex is so much more powerful. No. The job was so fragile. All I had to do was give you some sex and I got a promotion.
We should think about the standards
of which the promotions are being offered.
With men, like, but I do think it's in our nature, and it is being like a woman's estrogen. There are certain traits that women with high estrogen they're gonna do with certain behaviors, and I think with men and our testosterone, we are like sex is one of our things. Sex and fighting, I think, like a lot of testosterone, you're gonna feel pumped. And those are our two things. Like, if there's somebody who has a high level of testosterone, he is maybe more likely to be on some horn dog shit, man. You want to fight or fuck? I mean,
ironically, people with high levels of testosterone are also really artistic. So, like, if we really think about what we could be doing,
we need to tap into other shit.
That's what I'm saying. If we really think about the testosterone of like young boys and what we could be doing instead of pushing them into football and basketball and all of these charged things, we could literally be using that same energy and channeling it into the art that they already likely feel inclined to do. Because most guys who don't go to the league, which is most of them, usually transition into some other stuff, like other fields, and most of the time it's art. Rappers, poets, they do some community work, or they sell drugs, which is an art too. That's a skill. You have to be a people person to do that, okay? That takes you have to be a certain kind of empathetic person to sell drugs, because you have to not care about who you're selling to, not care about what happens when they leave, but also be open to anybody that buys from you. What drug dealer's like, I don't sell to gay people?
Yeah.
You're not a good drug dealer. You're not good at it. You're not, but just real quick, I just kind of wanted to lead into, especially if we're talking about how our generations are right now and how our generation is set up. Like, we're also the millennium generation that said that we'll never own homes. Like, have you heard people say that? Like, we'll never be the homeowner generation. Like the middle class is gone. So that's the thing that's dealing right now, because we were talking about TikTok, right? All of this spawned from the TikTok conversation, and TikTok is super duper popular. You got people who talk about conspiracies and things like that. Well, there was another conspiracy that went out at the end of September. This realtor was talking about how, what if a company could have access to interested homeowners' data, like the neighborhoods they're interested in, how much they can afford, like when they're looking to buy. And then what if they started like buying homes in the areas that people were really interested in? Like, what if they bought like 30 homes? And then what if at the 31st home, they bought that home at a value that's higher than all of the other homes in that area? Right. And he built the narrative that essentially Zillow created the housing bubble. How LA is essentially unaffordable. If you think of how Miami is now the second most expensive city to live in behind New York, we used to be behind New York.
Yeah.
Miami is now behind New York. That comes from Zillow. Texas is now getting up there. New York has always been up there. Well, essentially, Zillow saw the TikTok. They realized that they kind of had been outed. And this week, they stopped their home buying program. You know how huge that is for a social media video, 3 minutes long, just like you said, you can put more informative information in a 3-minute video. A 3-minute video to take down $1 billion company.
And they willingly ended it themselves?
Well, they kind of reworded why they're ending the home program. So they launched the program, and because of that TikTok, everyone started to speculate about their algorithm. Like, how are y'all getting all of this information, and how is it truly impacting our housing market? If we really think about it, yeah, it is weird to have a $2 million home in the middle of Lamert Park. That is weird, things like that. So they launched the program in 2017, and they were buying all of this user data. Well, in October, they just announced that they were going to stop buying homes, and they're making it seem like they're doing it for a good reason, or just, like they're making it seem like, it's because of the workload. It's too much work on all the people, or like they need to take a break. And when in actuality, they're doing it because they got caught by that real estate agent. And so they can't say we have to stop buying homes because he got caught. They're saying, because of the worker shortage in America, we can't do any more home buying programs. It's just too much work on everyone. But that leaves all of these homes that they've purchased that haven't been sold. They take a massive loss. Each home is going to lose like $20,000 to $30,000 per home. Damn. And they have thousands of homes.
That's pretty bad, man.
So the housing market, if y'all are thinking about moving to LA, don't do it.
Yeah. I like what you said about the algorithm, because I seen some on Netflix about this sister who started questioning TikTok's facial recognition, and she learned that TikTok's facial recognition was based on reading white people's faces. That's why if you a black person and you try to do that green screen with people behind you, with like a screen behind you or a video behind you, like it doesn't really lightweight pick it up. It'll glitch you out or whatever. Unless you're like the fairer skins you get, the more it actually is built to read you. And she went deep. She went from that to the housing market, because to fill out for these loans and to get these houses, you're put in a database, and people don't read your numbers, look at a sheet. They put your information, press enter, and it's an algorithm. And she was just telling people to question these algorithms. Because what if it says, okay, the first thing it reads is, what race do you identify as? Okay, you're black. If your shit isn't this higher than what we already have for other races, like, you don't know what's being input into these algorithms, and it's scary or whatever. So, like, that's a dope thing that you just said. Dope ass segment.
That's actually really happening in LA, because I applied for a place. They didn't even open my application or run my credit. They just saw my ID and denied me.
See?
Literally because I'm black. Like, and then when I pressed them, like, but you didn't even run my credit, and it looks like you just looked at my ID and denied me, they stopped responding to my emails and phone calls.
That's power, man. That's power, man. We gotta buy.
That's white supremacy at work.
Don't sell Granny's house, man. Keep that shit lit. Turn it to a liquor store. Do something, but don't sell it. Keep that shit.
Don't do something.
Hell yeah. Hey, look, man. I appreciate it. This has been a dope ass show. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Upgrade. My girl, she came in killing too. Both of them came in killing. They both talking than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I was more focused because I'm like, nigga, I gotta take my daughter and my girl to Universal right now.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, man, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be doing this shit every day. Shout out to all the people that was in here, YouTube. Make sure y'all like the video, subscribe, follow us, you know what I'm saying? I got all our Instagrams right there at the bottom, The Real DJ Show, Ink Very Well, and DJ Upgrade, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow us, tap in, you know what I mean? Ask us whatever. If y'all got any topics, or anything y'all want to, you know what I'm saying, want to talk about, man, let us know. Hit us up. You know what I mean? We will be having guests pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? And we will be doing interviews for independent artists and other people. You know what I'm saying?
So we'll also be filming on location. So if you're in LA and you want to be an audience member and you're vaccinated or you have a COVID test within 48 hours, we'll be having like live in studio shows. The same thing like we just did right here. We'll be having in studio shows where y'all can come sit, y'all can smoke, you can chill with us, and we're gonna be, you know, making it happen. So stay tuned for that.
And if you are if you're an entrepreneur and you got a dope spot and some Wi-Fi, let us know. We might be able to pull up and do some cross branding at your spot as long as you know it's quiet. You understand me?
And also, shit, let me give me also shit. If y'all got some clothes or some shit, man, shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing the homie Animal Avenue. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me. If y'all got some clothes and y'all want me to wear on a podcast or anything like that, man, make sure y'all send me $20 with the merchandise. You dig it?
Because you're getting the promotion, but the promotion also comes with a fee. That's how it works. So
you better hurry up.
Perspective.
Nigga said send me $20 with the merchandise. Nigga said, nigga, what?
Nah, 20 in there.
Yeah, right. But hell yeah, man. That's been also tonight I won't be going live on Instagram and YouTube because I'm gonna be gone. So I'll be live tomorrow. But if y'all do want to skip, you know what I'm saying, to support, make sure y'all hit the Cash App, the Real DJ Show. So you got crazy merch? Oh yeah, man.
Send it through. Put a dub in the pocket.
Oh yeah, send it through.
Put a dub in the pocket. Yeah. But if you want us to wear it, you know what I'm saying, just send it through. Let us know, bro. You know what I'm saying? We the type we're about to grow and shit about to be stupid. Niggas gonna be like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all niggas tomorrow.
Great show, great. Good to see you.
Great episode, man. Look forward to it.
Yeah, it's lit.
All right. Love y'all. We out. See y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.